This is Lu Rou Fan or Taiwanese braised meat. This is a gorgeous comfort food, and while it's usually made with pork belly, this recipe uses chicken, so it's completely halal, but it's still as tasty and comforting and super hearty and delicious, and one of my recent favorites. This is super easy to make, so let's go. Let's do some prepping first. These are dried shiitake mushrooms, a classic Chinese ingredient. These are hard and tough, so you'll have to rehydrate them first. Give the dried mushrooms a quick rinse underwater first. If you're great at planning, you can soak this in water the night before, but I never am, so I pour boiling hot water onto them and let this soak for about 30 minutes or so. About 30 minutes or so later, your mushrooms should be all nice and soaked and rehydrated. You can also squeeze it like this, squeeze, and that's how you know it's done. Take the mushrooms out of the water, squeeze the liquid out of the mushrooms, and then dice the mushrooms, just like this. You see this soaking liquid, do not throw this away. We're going to be adding some of this mushroom liquid to our dish later on for even more flavor. While you're soaking the mushrooms, let's also prep the chicken. For the best results, you want to use boneless chicken thighs or legs. This is going to give you a really super rich fatty dish. But if, like me, you want something that is not as greasy, then I actually like to do a half of chicken breast instead and a half of chicken thighs. With the chicken, let's get them diced. Just like this. Make sure you've got all of that chicken fat and skin in there, okay? This is all a flavor. To the chicken, I am going to marinate it with some dark soy sauce. You can also use ketchup mayonnaise, okay? And this is going to help to caramelize the chicken later on. Marinate the chicken at the same time that you're soaking the mushrooms, so about 30 minutes or so. And now we're ready to cook. Heat up your little braising pot and add in a bit of oil. Once hot, add the marinated chicken pieces. Stir fry this on medium to high heat. We're not trying to cook the chicken here, we're just trying to get some nice caramelization going. And once you have a nice searing on the chicken, add a cup of the soaking mushroom water from earlier. Light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, chopped onions, minced garlic, minced or grated ginger. This is Chinese 5-spice powder. You can get this ready-made at supermarkets very easily. Throw in a cinnamon stick and a couple of star anise. Give all of that a good stir, and while you're doing this, you want to scrape the bottom of the pot with your spatula just to combine any caramelized bits down there with all of the yummy sauces. It's all flavor. Then I'm adding rock sugar next and stir that in. You can also just use regular sugar. You want to let that hang out until the sugar melts, basically until you can't see huge chunks of the sugar. Add the chopped mushrooms. And this next ingredient is the secret weapon, fried shallots. You can make them from scratch, but I'm just using the ready-made store-bought version just to cut out some steps. This is definitely the key ingredient in good Lu Rou Fan. Finally, a dash of ground white pepper. And give all of that a nice good stir to combine. Once everything is nicely mixed in, add water to the pot. You want to add just enough water so that all of the chicken is fully submerged and covered in the water, just like this. Then stir it together to incorporate, and you want to let this come to a boil. Once it boils, I'm adding some peeled hard-boiled eggs. And this is a firm tofu. You can also use tofu puffs that will really soak up the soup. I'm adding some optional bay leaves to add even more fragrance. And then we're going to let this simmer. This looks so good already, okay? But we are going to let all of those beautiful flavors come together and develop. Turn the heat to the lowest. If you're using a stovetop, the flame should just be flickering, and then allow this to simmer for 30 to 40 minutes. And then you can basically just leave this alone to simmer. Return to the pot occasionally to give it a stir, just so you don't have anything burnt and stuck at the bottom of the pot. And at the 30 to 40 minute mark, your Lu Rou Fan is almost ready. The eggs and tofu should also have a nice color to them as well. Now turn the heat up to a high, and this is going to thicken the sauce. The sauce should start bubbling really aggressively, just like this. Make sure you stir continuously so the bottom does not burn. And once you get a nice thicker sauce like this, and it really shouldn't take long, about 5 minutes or so, your Chicken Lu Rou Fan is done and you're good to go. And we're ready to serve. To your bowl of rice, you want to ladle on all of that beautiful Lu Rou or braised meat. Don't forget the eggs. Slice up the firm tofu. And you have to add some blanched bok choy, okay? This is mandatory. And our hearty comfort food of Lu Rou Fan is all done. This is so incredibly easy. It looks so good, and it seriously tastes like you spend hours on it. So you want to give this Chicken Lu Rou Fan a go, and bye! If you love this recipe, you probably love any of these too, so go and check them out. Bye!